The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, says it is worried about the silence of governors of the Southeast region with regards to the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, its leader, despite the court order for his release. The separatist group said the silence of the political leaders and governors of the zone did not in any way suggest that Kanu was truly their son, as they claimed, adding that it was against his fundamental human right to be perpetually detained over even after the Court of Appeal had discharged him. The group's director of media and publicity, Emma Powerful, stated this in a statement on Monday. The statement read, following the landmark judgments of October 13, 2022, by the Federal Court of Appeal, sitting in Abuja, that unequivocally, discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Onyendo of Biafra land, of all the trumped-up charges brought against him by the Fulani government of Nigeria. The silence from the Southeast governors and political leaders gives room for concern. We, the global movement and the family of the indigenous people of Biafra, under the command and leadership of our great leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is compelled to ask Igbo governors, senators, House of Representatives members, ministers, House of Assembly members in every state in Biafra land why the silence over the continued illegal detention of their son, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Okechukwu Kanu, despite the fact that a court of competent jurisdiction, the Court of Appeal, has discharged and acquitted him of all the charges brought against him by the Nigerian government. IPOB has been observing the countenance of Igbo politicians from the moment the Appeal Court ruled in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and wonder whether this silence is as a result of this leadership being cowardly and afraid of the Fulani government, or whether they are compliant to the kidnapping and extraordinary renditioning of their son. If they are afraid of the Fulani Cabal who are running the affairs of this country, it means they are cowards and are unworthy to represent our people in every event in Nigeria. IPOB is asking these questions because our patience is not and will not be infinitely elastic. The continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the DSS, notwithstanding the Court of Appeal ruling and the accompanying silence from the Southeast political leaders, leaves much to be desired. This is exactly the same attitude of silence exhibited by these so-called political, traditional, and religious leaders as their sons and daughters are daily kidnapped and extrajudicially murdered. This attitude must reverse, and there is still a small window of opportunity to change this attitude and be proactive in the defense of your own. It added, for the fact that a court of competent jurisdiction has discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Nigerian government has no moral or legal ground to continue the prosecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The ruling of the Court of Appeal should embolden the Southeast governors and politicians of Southeast extraction to demand that the rule of law must be upheld, rather than the concerned or afraid of being witch-hunted if they stand firm and strong in condemning the utterances and actions of Alhaji Abubakar Malami and the Fulani APC government, whose intention is to subvert the constitution and judiciary pronouncement of the Court of Appeal. Malami and his people can hate Biafrans, especially Ndi Igbo as they like, but their hatred cannot stop the grace of God from us, and will never stop justice from prevailing in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Igbo leaders and stakeholders should stand as men and women with boards and make their stand known to us. This is not the time to remain silent or sit on the fence, he said. So guys, what's your take concerning this? The separatist group said the silence of the political leaders and governors of the zone did not in any way suggest that Kanu was truly their son, as they claimed, adding that it was against his fundamental human right to be perpetually detained even after the court of appeal had discharged him. The group's director of media and publicity, Emma Powerful, stated this in a statement on Monday. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, says it is worried over the silence of governors of the Southeast region with regards to the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, its leader, despite the court order for his release. The statement read, following the landmark judgment of October 13, 2022, by the Federal Court of Appeal, sitting in Abuja, that discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Onyendo of Biafra land, of all the trumped-up charges brought against him by the Fulani government of Nigeria. The silence from the Southeast governors and political leadership gives room for concern. So guys, what's your take concerning this? Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you.